Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Now, finally, Fight Club. I've been waiting for this review for probably since we started doing it. I really was, because I think this is, I said, wait till he sees Fight Club. Wait till he sees that movie for the first time. Case, the producer, at 25 years old, has barely seen anything except for Boys in the Hood before we started this whole journey. And now he's at Fight Club. So, Case, take it away. Fight Club. You've now seen Fight Club.
It's my 25th movie review that we've done, which is
Wow,
very exciting.
very
25
good.
years.
Happy, what is that, quarter of a centennial?
Yeah, I think it's the silver anniversary.
All right.
Yeah. But I'm
Very nice.
I'm so excited. This movie premiered at the Venice Film Festival 25 years ago this week. That's why we're doing it this week. And like everything else, I think we have to start with the trailer, Brian.
Let's do it.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Why? How much can you know about yourself? You've never been in a fight.
Wait, let me start earlier. Like many of you, I was stuck.
You want me to deprioritize my current reports until you advise of a status upgrade?
Make these your primary action items.
I couldn't sleep.
No, you can't die from insomnia.
I'd flip through catalogs and wonder, what kind of dining set defines me as a person? This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. I prayed for a different life.
Soap. I make and I sell soap.
And this is how I met Tyler Durden.
Come on, hit me before I lose my nerve. Ow! Hit me in the ear!
It was on the tip of everyone's tongue.
Can I be next?
We just gave it a name.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club. You were looking for a way to change your life. You got it.
Oh, my God. This is, before you start the case, this is the one of 3 movies I've seen in the theater twice.
Really?
It was Fight Club, it was Meet the Parents, and it was Wayne's World.
Classic.
Very different
That's
set
my
of
Brian.
circumstances each time. I like it.
They all have the same plot. Okay, not really. Okay, so you saw Fight Club. Tell us about Fight Club.
Well, I guess I want to start with a question that if you've seen it twice, after you watched it for the first time, did you have any idea what the hell you had just seen?
So, it obviously, with the incredible plot twist, I needed to see it again immediately because then I wanted to watch it from the eyes of knowing the plot twist.
Yeah.
And then it's wild to watch it again after that. Even though they do a quick recap in the movie itself, it's better to watch it again all after you know what happened.
It's one of the most confusing movies that I've ever seen. Now, when I watched Matrix, because Matrix also turned 25 this year, I hated that movie. I didn't understand it, nor did I want to. This is one where, despite it being 2.5 hours, which is a pretty long movie, I never fully grasped the reality of this world, but I was fascinated the entire time. It was really, really interesting to me, partially because we did Varsity Blues last week, and I made the comment that watching Varsity Blues made me realize that I lived my high school years incorrectly. I should have been a star quarterback. I should have been having sex. I should have been cool. And I made the choice not to do those things.
Not all those things are choices, by the
No,
way.
I made a direct choice to not be the star quarterback of the high school football team.
Did you make a choice not to have any sex?
They were related. It's tough 4 years.
But he still chooses to not be cool. That's interesting. That's a change you can make today, Kate.
Yes, you can. You can do it.
You got to focus.
Yeah.
Watching Fight Club has made me realize that I thought I was in tune with my emotions. I thought I knew who I was, but I've never been punched in the face. And
Have you never?
Shocking, I know.
I can't believe no one punched you in the face. That's unbelievable.
Oh, man.
And you hear it in the trailer, that line of you don't know yourself until you've been punched. And I started going like, oh my God, I haven't lived a life. I haven't been in a fight club. I've been wasting time on this earth. I thought I had this great community of like-minded people that are into punk rock and skateboarding and all the things I like. Wrong. I should be in a fight club.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you when this movie came out how many all of a sudden on the news there'd be fight clubs found here and here.
Mm-hmm.
So real fight clubs were exposed when this movie came out afterward.
Illegal? Were they getting in trouble for it?
They were doing it kind of like the movie. They weren't plotting terrorism, but they were going out and fight.
And we'll talk about that. Terrorism might be a bit too far.
They were fighting though in just like in the movie, like in bars that were closed at night overnight. There was a lot of real fight clubs out there, and this movie kind of exposed it in a way. And also to your point on that of doing your life wrong, this was the first movie I can remember that after I watched it, I analyzed my entire life of, wow, it's just going to go this till the end if I don't make a change, if I don't think about things.
Our Great Depression is our lives. We're the generation after World War II.
You are Tyler Durden.
God, I wish I was, because I made this comment to Brian this morning where, because I hadn't seen a lot of movies, like Brad Pitt is obviously a name that I knew, but I, in my own head, had looked at Brad Pitt as almost like the male equivalent of a vapid pop star, where I was like, oh, he's only famous because he's good looking.
No.
Turns out, spoiler alert for some, Brad Pitt, hell of an actor.
Very talented man.
Incredible in this movie.
Yeah. As well as Edward Norton.
Yes, he's awesome in
But
it,
he
too.
was never looked at as a heartthrob like Brad Pitt.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's a good-looking guy, but he's not Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt's incredible in this movie. The soundtrack is incredible in this movie. The twists and turns along the way. There's specifically, like, the scene that I liked the most in this movie was when Edward Norton goes to turn himself into the police, and he starts admitting things about the Fight Club, and he starts admitting things about Project Mayhem. And
Which
then
is big against the rules.
Yes, but again, we'll talk about that in just a second, because I have a feeling Project Mayhem is a little bit like Bane. I think they're misunderstood. But, he tries to turn himself in, and the police chief leaves the room, and then he's just surrounded by the other deputies. And it turns out all the deputies are in Fight Club, and they won't let him turn himself in. Mind-blowing scene. Jumped off my couch. Couldn't believe what I was watching.
But before you even get there, what did you do when the plot twist happens that you find out that Edward Norton...
Can we say it? Right?
There's a spoiler alert if you haven't seen Fight Club.
Huge, right now, giving you multiple seconds, massive Fight Club spoiler alert. Now, go ahead.
Edward Norton is Tyler Durden. Oh, jeez. And the way he finds out when he's in there and all of a sudden the hotel room and Brad Pitt's looking at him and he goes like, you almost got it. And then he goes, we're the same. I remember standing up in the theater.
Oh, not you standing up. You're huge.
I know.
You want the whole thing.
You stood in front of the projector.
Great.
Like I was watching a karate movie, and I go, no effing way. And I thought everybody would.
Like, boo, sit down.
I thought everybody would do it like me, and everybody was just sitting looking at me
Down in
quietly. I go, did you guys know that was coming? I didn't know that was coming.
You also did it the second time you went to the movie.
I did. Wait a minute, I forgot. That has to be the greatest, if not the greatest, plot twist in movie history.
Yeah, I mean, you asked me what did I do. I took ibuprofen. I had a headache. I couldn't comprehend what happened. It was unbelievable.
And just to clarify, because I don't think we described it amazingly, so Edward Norton, who's narrating the whole movie,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt is his alter ego. It's who he wants to be. You think that they're two people, they're the same person. So he's discovering that this is actually him and the alter ego he's created in his mind.
The funny thing is when you look it up, like on IMDb, it lists Edward Norton's character as the narrator.
Yes.
It doesn't,
interesting.
he does not have a name. He is Tyler Durden.
Because he is, yes.
Because he is.
The only other movie, and again, I haven't seen a ton of movies, the only other movie that I've seen do this, Brian, I know you haven't seen this. Kenzie, have you seen the Michael Cera movie, Youth in Revolt?
No.
Okay, crazy underrated comedy where Michael Cera plays basically himself, and then he plays a French alter ego named Francois Dillinger, who's like a ladies' man and knows how to get laid. It's the same premise as Fight Club, basically. They turn out to be the exact same guy. It's awesome.
Oh, I love Justin Long. He's in it.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Zach Galifianakis, it's a great movie.
Well,
We'll do Youth in Revolt at some point.
Interesting with you mentioned, people and other people in a movie you wouldn't expect. Like Meatloaf is in this movie. The singer Meatloaf is in it.
Oh, this cast is unbelievable because you also have Helena Carter, who's like in like
Helena
Harry
Bonham
Potter.
Carter, yeah.
She's amazing. Jared Leto's in it, which we have like mixed feelings.
Not mixed feelings, bad feelings.
But he
He's
is
blowing
good.
us off.
He's good in Fight Club, and then he
Stingy
gets
about it.
again another spoiler alert with Jared Leto. He gets disfigured.
Yes, it made me feel good. So, Kenzie, you mentioned the cast here a little bit, and like what's the name of the woman again?
Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh.
Did not like her character in this movie. I actually thought she came across as like dollar store Uma Thurman. It was like, oh, I've seen Pulp Fiction too now. Like I understand what you guys were trying to do. That character didn't resonate with me a ton, but I did learn in the research because I had to read all about this movie because again I was a little confused. Courtney Love was originally supposed to be her. They wanted Courtney Love in this movie.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Because she dressed just like Courtney Love.
Yeah,
in
and
that
you can
movie.
see where the influence is.
Yeah, the fairy dresses and the tights and also.
But in fairness, that's kind of who she is, though. Now that you know her as an actress, and she's been in not you probably don't know her as an actress, actually.
She was brand new to me.
She's obviously in the Harry Potter. She's in Sweeney Todd. She always plays like these abstract, kind of eerie,
mysterious.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
And also with Meatloaf, did you the rest of the day, like let's say you went to Jewel afterward to get some food, which you do? Did you say like, my name is Robert Paulson? His name was Robert Paulson. His name was Robert Paulson.
Yeah, I started chanting that to my girlfriend. She didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah. She's very confused.
Especially when they do it when Edward Norton's trying to get through to everybody in the movie, and they're all just chanting, his name was Robert, but this was a man. This was my friend. He's dead. He did it for the cause, sir.
So I know we got to go in just a second, but I want to make this point. Project Mayhem becomes, the terroristic group, if you will, of the movie.
Yes.
Much like Bane, I feel like they are horribly misunderstood. Their whole thing was, we're not going to hurt anybody. We're just going to clear everybody's debt. I'm sorry, but if Project Mayhem ran for president, I would vote for them in a heartbeat.
Wow. Bane and Project Mayhem as a vice president.
I'm sorry. That's a ticket to me. That's my president.
Well, they did make it very clear. They cleared the buildings before. Again, spoiler alert. Sorry, Kenzie. Spoiler alert. They, blow up.
Spoiler happening.
All right, sorry. They blow up the buildings at the end, and when they come down, it's one of the greatest lines ever. You met me at an interesting time in my life. I've used that before.
When? What were you doing?
And it wasn't successful.
Trying to get a phone number.
Okay.
Case mentioned in the beginning of the review that he's never been in a fight, never been punched in the face. We have Eugene, who checked in from Woodridge. And he said, I had a bucket list before I turned 30 to be punched in the face.
I don't have that bucket list. I just want to go to Japan.
I can do it right now. I can make you be like Mr. Woodridge, and I can punch you right in the face.
Listen to Eugene in Woodridge's story, how he says that. He goes, that was my number one bucket list. After tons of no's from my supposed friends, one stepped up. And we were out drinking and decided to go outside in the alley and get the job done. She hit me once, but it didn't land properly on my face. So she squared up again and hit me in the eye.
Good.
And he says, best birthday gift ever.
Kids, you don't get any ideas.
Come on. Let me punch you one time.
Absolutely not.
How about I punch you in the arm or the chest and you see if you feel like you can take it in the face after that?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
Because you're stronger than I am, both mentally and physically.
Okay.
And you want to play the rules, right? You wanted to hear that little audio.
Well, let's play the iconic rules of Fight Club, and then I'll give my rating.
One of the iconic lines in movie history.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Let him say
Third
it.
rule of Fight Club. Someone yells stop, goes limp, taps out. The fight is over. Fourth rule, only two guys to a fight. Fifth rule, one fight at a time, fellas. Sixth rule, no shirts, no shoes. Seventh rule, fights will go on as long as they have to. And the eighth and final rule, if this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
Oh my God. That's the most important rule, really. Not talking about it. The eighth rule, if it's your first night, you have to fight.
Yeah, that would screw me. I'd want to audit Fight Club first like it's a college class, and instead they make me fight. I don't want to do that.
No, you have to participate because that's when the adrenaline kicks in. That's what makes you want to participate. If you just watch it, you're going to be like, I can't handle it.
Yeah, but see, Case was thinking like he'd go to this fight club and they'd all talk about, so what was the best fight you ever saw? Okay, why don't we go get some nachos? There's a good new taco place down the street. We could go eat. No, you got to fight the first night.
He just wants to take a selfie at Fight Club.
Yeah.
No.
Here's my Instagram story of me at Fight Club.
All right,
doing
Case.
cool stuff.
Let's get a rating. I don't know what you're going to rate with here. But
Fists?
Yeah, we'll do fists.
Okay, how many fists does Fight Club get?
So in the pantheon of doing all these movies, I had Pulp Fiction as a 10 out of 10. I think I had Shawshank at like a 9.5 out of 10.
Did you give Paul? I thought you hadn't given anything a 10 out of 10.
Pulp Fiction I loved. I
Yeah.
really, really loved.
Yeah.
This is not on that level, but it is damn close. I feel comfortable giving this movie 9 fists out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 fists. There you go. The review of Fight Club. If you came in at the end of it, it'll be on the podcast later from Case, the producer, who just saw it on his 25th anniversary of release.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.